have to be extremely careful what they say. I don't owe anybody anything. I don't have to watch anything I say. That became the most dangerous thing to Howard, is that I knew too much. I was involved too much in the show with nothing to lose. And to Howard, I was like a nuclear bomb. And that is, to your point, is what led to me being banned. That bomb went off one day on him. And he never recovered from it.
So it was you there the day, and this is what I read, but I kind of remember. You were there the day that the Sirius deal was announced, or you were privy to it.
Yeah.
And so people were saying, oh, he knew, but no one knew, right?
Well, this is what happened. Going back to what I said earlier, that I was getting side gigs from being associated with the show. I was getting a lot of TV work. ABC News, this is the early days of the internet, when news shows were experimenting with bringing their news online instead of just TV. So ABC was experimenting doing an ABC online broadcast. And this is like 2004. And I had a segment called Tattletales with the reporter Gigi Stone, where I actually sat in the ABC News nightly news desk where Diane Sawyer and Peter Jennings would sit. I sat in that same chair in this big empty room with a camera on me, talking about celebrity news. It was mind blowing. It was surreal. And at the end of one segment, Gigi Stone said to me, well, you're friends with Howard. What do you think he's going to do when his contract runs out with terrestrial radio? And I said, well, listen, I don't know. No one knows. But if I was betting, if I was going to bet, I would say he's not going to XM radio because his competitors, Obey and Anthony, are there. And I don't think he's going to sign up with terrestrial radio again. I would say he's going to Sirius. I think Sirius is going to hire Howard Stern. I would bet the farm on it. That was the end of the segment. Well, a few months later, just by coincidence, I'm in the studio with Howard. I'm sitting on the couch. And he goes, stop the show. Robin, stop. I want to make an announcement. And everything stops. And he goes, I've decided what I'm going to do, and drum roll and all that stuff, because I'm going to Sirius Satellite Radio. I'm there by coincidence. Well, a few weeks later, I get a call at my office, and a guy says, I'm from the SEC, the Securities Exchange Commission. We want you to come in and talk about what we believe could be insider trading involving Howard Stern. And I said, fuck you, Sal, and I hung up the phone. They called back. I said, it's not funny. I said, I didn't fall for it. It was a good try. Fuck you. I hang up. Well, the next day I get a FedEx package with a subpoena to appear in front of the Securities Exchange Commission in regards to insider trading regarding Howard Stern, myself, and Sirius Satellite Radio. I'm like, this can't be real. It's a FedEx package. They don't give you subpoenas in a FedEx package. They're really trying to get me. They're trying. So I call the show. Gary doesn't even talk to me. Jason laughs and goes, no way, is that real? He goes, no way. And he laughs it off. I said, okay, I agree. But I just said to myself, let me, I have a buddy who's the editor of the business section of New York Post. I'm going to ask him if this is real. I know it's not, but for my own peace of mind. So he says, oh yeah, let me look at it. Fax it over. So I fax it over. He doesn't call me back. Now, it's a Friday, and Howard Stern went on vacation that day for one of his notorious weeks off. So it's a Friday. The guy doesn't call me back. I assume it's not real, otherwise he would have called me right away. Lo and behold, the next day, I go to Dunkin' Donuts, and right there in front of the store, in the front cover of the New York Post, is my subpoena and Howard Stern's face. Chauncey is bringing down Howard Stern. Howard Stern's going to jail. Thanks, Chauncey, in big letters. And within an hour, I have every news truck in the country in front of my house with satellite dishes. Now remember, Martha Stewart had just gone to jail for something similar. So now they think they got Howard. And I'm the guy that's going to bring him to put him in prison. I couldn't believe it. I don't even own stock It was so insane. And Howard's on St. Bart's on a beach. You imagine him on a beach with his long, pale legs and his sunglasses with Beth, and he gets the call. Howard, are you sitting down? You can imagine that's the call he got from Don Buchwald. And now, I don't know what to do. I have all these lawyers, attorneys calling me going, they can really put you in jail. Even if you didn't do anything wrong, if you don't answer the question right, they can put you in jail. So I retained this high-powered lawyer in New York. And he said, look, talk to the Wall Street Journal. Do one interview with them and do one interview with Fox News, Neil Cavuto. And then that's it. Don't talk to anyone. Just let everybody know this is bull. You don't even have stock. Just get it out there. And then when you go in front of the commission, just say, I don't recall to every answer. Say, I don't recall. I don't recall. They can't put you in jail if you didn't recall. So no matter what, they ask you your name, say, I don't recall. Something out of a movie. So I talk to the Wall Street Journal. Now, every media outlet in the world, Spain, Russia, China, blah, 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 blah. Chaunce Hayden, Howard Stern, blah, 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 blah. Chaunce Hayden, Howard Stern, all over the world. And Neil Cavuto, an hour. He did 1 hour of just talking to me about this. When was the last time that happened on cable news? The exclusive interview with Chaunce Hayden regarding the Howard Stern scandal. This all happens during the course of a week with Howard's on vacation. And you could imagine the day he came back that Monday. First thing he said, so our friend Chauncey was on a press tour this whole week. And I called in, I said, Howard, let me explain. And he said, you don't have to explain anything. Goodbye. And he hung up. And that was that. I was dead. I was dead. About a year later, maybe not even a year, a few months later, I was at a party with Kelly Ripa from Regis and Kelly. I was at a party with her and Dan Aykroyd, and Howard was invited, a private party, this little gathering at this basement bar in the city. It's like 12 people there, and me, Howard, and Beth are there in this little room. And Beth goes, talk to him. She goes, talk to him. I'll talk to you. I said, no, he hates me. She goes, he doesn't hate you. He doesn't hate you. Go talk to him. So I go up to him, and I go to shake his hand, and he has a glove on, like Michael Jackson. And I shake his hand, and he gives me that limp fish kind of shake with a glove. And I said, Howard, look. He goes, Chauncey, all's forgiven. I know you didn't do anything wrong. He goes, I probably could have handled it a little better. He goes, it's all good. It's all good. We'll talk during the week. It's all good, dude. Don't worry. And Beth goes like this, gives me a thumb up. And I go, yeah. And I'm going home like, yes, I fixed this. Well, someone at the party, and I swear to God, I didn't do this. The next day in page 6, Howard Stern at this party wearing a glove like Michael Jackson shakes hands like a dead fish. It wasn't me. Howard goes, so I gave Chauncey another chance. And what does he do? He puts this article in the New York Post, page 6. It wasn't me. But that was it. That was it. I was done. He swears that was me. And it wasn't. But it was done.
No contact since, I guess, right?
Only hate stuff. Only hate. Because then I was asked to go on. I was still doing a lot of cable news, a lot of TV shows, and Neil Cavuto once again asked me to come on to talk about Howard going on Sirius. Right, I think it was the week he was going on. What can fans expect? As a Stern expert, I'm Chaunce Hayden, Stern expert. What does that even mean? You're a Stern expert. Well, anyone listens to the show is a Stern expert, right?
I gotta get on Neil's show, I guess.
Yeah. But they had to give a title to it. They brought me on because I had a connection from the Sirius scandal. So I was an obvious choice because no one else from the show was going to go on Neil Cavuto. They're not allowed. So they probably went through the whole Rolodex, this much until they got to me. So I go on Neil Cavuto, and I know I'm pissed off at Howard because totally turned his back to me. And I'm still going through that divorce stage, which every ex-Stern guy goes through. It takes longer for some than others. Some it takes years, some never get over it, some it takes months. Everyone has that time period it takes you to get back to yourself again. And I wasn't there yet. I was still angry. So I go on and go, oh, what's this? This big fist in the air. It's like a Nazi. I go, first of all, he's going to have commercials. It's total bull that he says he's not having commercials. He is going to be censored. Everyone's going to be more censored than ever before. You know, he's going to change his personality. He's not going to be a shock jock anymore. He's going to go on and he's going to start doing regular A-list interviews. And he's going to use the show to change his whole persona. They're selling you a bill of goods that's a lie. You're not going to get an even more outrageous Howard Stern. You're going to get a more reserved, different Howard Stern. This is his opportunity to become something different. I said that the week he signed on, the week he went on the air. I don't want to brag, but I think many people would agree that I was right. Well, Howard went off. Howard was so mad by that and so angry. He did a whole morning on it and then demanded Fox News give him an hour the next day to be on the air on the same show to trash me. Howard said, I'm Chauncey from a free giveaway Penny Saver magazine. Howard went on Neil Cavuto for an hour the very next day to call me the Beetlejuice of journalism. He was that angry. I found a way to get under his skin like no one ever has before. And when you were talking, we started off like, how did you become the villain? You know, we didn't choose. Well, I think at that point I really became the villain. I wasn't on the show anymore, but I was totally. It was like a show of superheroes, and one of the superheroes changed and became one of the enemy. Evil powers. I started using my good powers for evil, and I kind of enjoyed the role because